Hey guys, it's Danny here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to change a faulty solenoid valve. I don't know if you guys can see the solenoid valve, but it's right here. This is faulty and I'm going to be changing it today. Right now I'm inside a walk-in freezer here in a Pizza Hut, and their solenoid valve is not functioning properly. It's not opening, so gonna be changing it now. It's Saturday, it's snowy outside, and it's fucking cold. So bear with me. Let me just find a good place to put my camera. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm gonna be doing is taking out or separating the coil and the plunger itself. Let me see if I can make this stay over here. There we go. That should work. So yeah, how to separate the coil from the plunger itself is really easy. You just have to pull really hard on these types to separate the two. Like so. They just come undone like that. Then I'm going to take out the electrical here, and obviously there's no power to the system, so before you even touch electrical stuff, make sure you turn off the power to both the systems, or to the condensing unit and the evaporator. Then you just want to go ahead and untangle all the wiring. Like so. Take off my gloves. Get my knife. Whoever did the electrical put a lot of tape on this. There you go. Might as well take off any extra tape that is on. Perfect. Now for you beginners, if you guys don't know the wiring of the solenoid valve, it's a good idea just to take a picture before you touch any of the wiring. So just when you put the new one on, you know exactly where all the wires go. Okay, after that, now all my wires are disconnected. Gonna go ahead and take out trying to take out my electrical connectors. I don't know what these are called. These O-rings inside. I don't know if you guys can see, but there you guys go. Okay, I'm gonna do this for both. This is for one of them. I'm gonna do it for this one too. This one much easier. Perfect. And now, okay, sorry about that, guys. Believe it or not, I just almost fell off my ladder. But okay, let's go on to the next step. After I've taken out both the wires going to my solenoid, I'm gonna go ahead and now take out the plunger up here. So this is the valve that I've chose to put in, the solenoid valve. I'm just gonna now plan on where I'm gonna put this exactly. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna put it here. I'll show you guys. So here's the pipes I have to work with. I'm planning on putting this right here, and then make this end go all the way up to that pipe. So right now I'm just making the flare nut ends and piping it out with my 3/8. So I got this piece right here I'm gonna put in, and I'll do that right now. I'll show you guys what that means. So it's important that when you are doing this, that you know which end of the solenoid valve is the front, or is the in and out, is the in, and which side is the out. On most solenoid valves, there's an arrow. You can see over here, the arrow right here is pointing to my left. It's pointing this way. So that means that the refrigerant flow is flowing from this end and coming out this way. So in other words, this side is our in and this side is our out. Now what I'm going to do now is, since this is our in, this side, I'm going to take this out and make the pipe and replace it with this one, because how I plan on putting it in. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I've done in the meantime. What I've done is I've got my solenoid here. I did the inlet already. I put the nut on, and now I have the outlet here. So what I'm going to do now is braze on my outlet to the 3/8 pipe that's going to my TXV. Now while it's hot, I'm going to quickly look with my mirror to see if there are any spots that I missed. So I can do that quickly. Perfect. Okay, and now we can go ahead and do our inlet. But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the coil. So how you do that is very easy. You just have to pull out the coil and it should snap out. Like that. So once again, how I did that was, see, it goes in like this. You would hear the snap. That, snap. It's in. It's out. Now the reason I'm doing that is just for convenience sake. It's more open, I have more room to braze. So now I'm just gonna make sure it's steady and then go ahead and braze this. But before I do, I'm afraid that if I braze it, it's gonna come out. So I'm just gonna let this cool down on the outlet nut and just loosely tighten it out. Just hand tight so it doesn't fall. So it doesn't fall when I'm brazing. So just loosely try and like so. There. Now for sure won't come out. Now we can go ahead and braze our inlet. Although this is pretty far from the solenoid valve, if you want to play it safe, you can just put a wet rag over the solenoid. And yeah, while it's hot, like I always do, I always check for leak. Any spots that I missed, any holes. 3/8 pipe is really easy to braze, but it's always good to double check. So we're good there too. And now we can go ahead and with the electrical. I'll be right back. The solenoid valve is now installed on both ends. Now I'm going to pressure test my refrigeration system with the solenoid that I just installed. Now, rather than going on the roof, I'm just gonna pressure test through my access port on my evaporator here, on my nitrogen here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some nitrogen in the system. Now, since there's no power hooked up to my solenoid, I love this little tool that I got from the refrigerator supply. I'm gonna put this on my solenoid so the plunger goes up. So it's up, so that means that it's energized, so it's open right now. So now nitrogen is going through the whole system rather than to the solenoid. And I believe I'm out of nitrogen. But since I'm just pressure testing my solenoid valve, 150 should be enough. Let's see if it stays at 150 when I close my side valve. Let's see. 145. That should be good enough. So I'm just gonna get some Big Blue, it's called, and just spray it generously on the parts, the flare nuts, and check for any bubbles. We looking good, guys. Check it out. No bubbles. Gonna check the places I did some brazing. One down there, one up there. No bubbles. Great. So now we can go ahead with our vacuum. So now, I got my vacuum pump and my refrigerant up on the roof. So I'm gonna go up on the roof and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so now the system is being vacuumed, and meanwhile I'm gonna start wiring my solenoid valve. So I got the coil here that I took off earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have two sets of wires, guys. One coming from the power source and one coming from my thermostat. And obviously the last one is this one, the one on the solenoid. This is a 220 solenoid. So first things first, I'm gonna put through, you can start with the power or the thermostat wire, both the same. So I'm gonna do the power source first. I'm gonna secure it with this O-ring, like so. Get a flat screwdriver and make sure it's on tight. There you go. And our next one is our thermostat. Just make sure you remember which side's up. So when I put this on, it's going to go on like this. I'm going to tighten this a bit more so it's not so loose. Okay. Now my thermostat wire. Now you could secure the thermostat before you do this, but I'll just go ahead and just do it after. I'll secure it after I wired it up, just so I can get off of this. Let's put the O-ring on. Very basic stuff. It's very easy to wire a solenoid. Not much to it. There we go. Now I'm gonna go get some barrettes and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so got my barrettes, so I'm ready to wire this up. So let's get started. First things first, I'm gonna separate the 3 wires so I know exactly what's for what. So it's very easy. Very easy. So first thing you want to do, hook up one leg of your solenoid valve to the power source. Get a barrette. Make sure it's on tight. One down. And the other one, this other solenoid, is going to go through our thermostat. So the other leg is going to go to one of the legs coming from the thermostat. When you're doing this, when you're wiring any solenoid valve, try to lose as less wire as possible, just because it's going to get it always gets crammed inside solenoids once you put the cover on. And last but not least, it's the one leg of the thermostat to our power source. Let me get my pliers. Make sure all barrettes are on tight, and there you go. That's how you wire it up. And now, is, believe it or not, the hard part, putting the cap on. Now, let me find the cap. Here it is. It's sometimes it can be very difficult to put this on. You just have to be very careful. Put it on. Kind of just have to squish everything inside. Just make sure all the wires stay intact. with each other. Some people don't even bother putting the cap on, which is totally dangerous. So I don't recommend you guys doing that. Just try. You'll eventually get it in. You just have to play around a bit. Just make sure that everything's all in. Like I said, it's important to use as less wires as possible, just because you're gonna have a hard time putting all the wires inside the cap. Just be patient. And eventually you'll get it in. Get them all in. Once you've done that, go ahead and put the cap on. Of course, this is not the right cap, so I'm gonna go find the right one, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what I did. I had a hard time putting all the wires in, so I just changed the morettes to the orange ones, much smaller. So now hopefully I'll have some more room to play with, and I can fit everything in and then put the cover on. Then we're good to go. Probably this is the worst part about wiring a solenoid valve, especially when electricians use super thick wire. Just want to just gently push everything in and make sure there are no loose wires, and see if you can somehow put the cover on without one side on, and now we just have to do this side. So you want to play with it until you hear a snap. Basically, this is all done. It's gonna fit perfect. It's just a bit loose, so I'm just gonna squeeze the ends in a bit, and then we're good to go. I don't know if you guys heard that snap, but that snap means that it's in place. So once that's done, we still have to mount our thermostat. So it's up to you, guys. I can either mount the thermostat first, or I can just go ahead and do put the solenoid on. Let's just put the solenoid on first. Let's get over with it. So just remember that which side's up, and just place it over the plunger and then push in. And then push in until you hear a snap. Perfect. And once that's on, now you can go ahead and mount your thermostat. I'm gonna get some screws and my power drill, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna mount my thermostat. Now, every time you mount your thermostat, you always want it to. It's a good practice to have it always behind the evaporator. That's where the return air is. So I'm gonna place it somewhere around here. Let's see. And please, guys, when you're mounting your thermostat, always try to have it straight as possible. Just looks much nicer than having a diagonal one or one that's crooked. Once you're done that, you can go ahead and put your cover back on for your thermostat. Make sure it's on fully. Just seems to be a little crooked. So we've mounted our thermostat now, and now I'm just gonna mount my sensor here. Obviously, I would have preferred to have a pigtail one, which is the one that has a sensor on top of it, rather than having the capillary tube one, just because we don't need the capillary tube one, and it looks ugly when we roll it up. So I'm going to mount this, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to be on the roof. Okay, so I'm back on the roof now, and we are at 2,700 microns. So it's been going on for a while now, and I'm certain that there are no more leaks. But just to double check, what I'm going to do now is turn off, or gonna close my hand valve for my low side and high side and see if my micron gauge rises. Now I'm just measuring more accurately the microns inside the system. So it rose a bit, but it's just stabilizing right now. So I'm going to turn off my vacuum pump and just wait a couple minutes and see how much it rises. So it has only risen just about 3,000 microns. This is a long pipe run, so if I would have just left the vacuum pump running for a bit longer, I'm sure it would have stayed at around 2,000 microns. But it's safe to say that there are no leaks and I can go ahead and charge my system with refrigerant. So I'll be right back. Hey folks, just been charging my system with some refrigerant now, some 404. My pressures are as follows. Low side is 24, high side is at 225. Side glass is clear. Everything looking perfect. Gonna go downstairs and see what my box temp is right now. Okay guys, we are at a box temp of -8 degrees and it's going down pretty steadily. Inside, everything, the fans are working. It's definitely getting cold in here, and yeah, everything looks to be working perfectly. So that's how you change a solenoid valve. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Dnoorian, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!